Hi there. You're probably wondering about the hat. Well, I've decided to become a villain. And by that, I don't mean one of your run of the mill shoplifters or pickpockets. I mean a larger than life villain. That is, the sort of person who puts together a nefarious plan potentially to destroy the world so that a small but scrappy contingent of heroes will come and apprehend me. So, becoming a larger than life villain, as it turns out, is a lot harder than it looks on the surface. At first, I thought I could just set up, say, a base in some remote area of a country where there isn't like a real well functioning government. As it turns out, to become a larger than life villain, there's a limited selection of places. You need, say, a mountain, the top of which is shaped like a skull, or maybe the interior of a dormant volcano. I'd suggested or thought about for some time that maybe I could take over Jeff Epstein's compound. It's got its own island, but I really don't want to be that kind of a villain. So it's not really in my idiom. So, hollowed out volcano it is. Then I figured out that there's a lot of costs involved, a lot of hidden costs in building a nefarious lair to be a larger than life villain. As it turns out, you need a very large and competent contracting company, and there's a limited supply of those. You have to ship in a lot of folks, and there's a lot of logistics with all the equipment to hollow out the volcano or go deep into the mountain or build up your remote compound to a point that the heroes can go in there and feel suitably challenged before they apprehend me and stop my nefarious plans. So the costs to do that are fairly tremendous. And then that doesn't even include the costs of, say, setting up bottomless pits and putting together, say, swarms of hungry crocodiles or maybe killer insects and traps like falling rock traps or rolling ball traps and stuff like that. That's some real engineering work there, and it gets pretty pricey to do. So I've set up a Patreon page, and so far I've collected about $2.37. But I'm hopeful that this will go on to gather continued momentum. People are realizing that you need to have villains in this world in order to give those larger than life heroes an opportunity at greatness. And I may also get started with a Kickstarter with multiple tiers. Say, if you're in one of the top tiers, you can even give me a sobriquet like, I don't know, Planet Killer or Star Crusher or something like that, Iron Fist. So hopefully that'll go off a little bit better, and we'll start getting a little bit of a dent toward the millions that I'm going to need in order to put my layer together. I'm very much looking forward to having the heroes, whoever they may be, uh, jumping across pillars and, say, swinging across chasms and doing all the things they need to do in order to reach my internal chamber so that they can stop me from my plans to destroy the world. Um, I do hope that I'll have some sort of, larger than life male hero with rippling pecs and maybe a lady with a bare midriff, or maybe a lady with rippling pecs and a male with a bare midriff, and then maybe one or two scrappy sidekicks who, are there for comic relief and uh, to take care of those moments where there's some sort of a sacrifice needed so that the heroics can proceed uh, to capture me and take me prisoner. So, anyway, I hope that you understand for the greater good that you please donate to the cause. And, well, I look very much forward to being apprehended. The one difficulty I've got at this point is to make sure after I get all of this properly put together that we schedule in heroes at their correct times so that we don't have all of them showing up at once. The final thing is that I want to make sure that my nefarious plans are dangerous enough that they send in a small scrappy contingent, but not so dangerous that they, send in bombers who nuke me from, 7 miles up, or, just bomb the living bejesus out of the entire island or dormant volcano or wherever I happen to get the rights to set up my lair. That would defeat the purpose. So please, I ask you warmly, give generously. It's for the greater good, and I look forward to your donations.